right now, and I don't want to deal. I'm not dealing with this politically. I need people to understand what I'm dealing with, because what we're seeing right now is the fruit of the vine.
Mm-hmm.
You are not seeing the root
Yep.
of the vine. Okay,
Yep.
the root of the vine of what's happening in the Middle East
Yes.
is based around a family feud that requires reconciliation. The reason that almost a millennia down the line it's turned into what it has now is because of the basis of the substance of what lies within the ground on the basis of that relationship. Okay?
Yep.
So the reality is that Israel, their uncle Ishmael, has a problem with what I would call the Palestinians, Uncle Isaac. The boys don't have a problem with each other. The mothers had a problem with each other,
Right.
based on what the boys represented. The boys were both beloved of their father. So whilst I can understand people that are only idealizing it in this moment,
Yeah.
going, well, you cannot kill a child, and if you do that, 100%.
100%.
But the reality is, if I was right now in that space, I would ask Netanyahu and I would ask the Palestinian leader and say, if Father Abraham was to stand before us, who could justify their action to him?
Ooh.
You are sons and daughters of the same house.
I think honestly, and this is the most complicated thing that could ever be unraveled, I suppose, in the world, because this is what the entire foundation of our political, socioeconomic, personal identifying habits are. We're so obsessed with sort of pattern recognition and categorization, so that we understand the world. Oh, that's a chair, that's a table, that's the sky. Cool.
And right and wrong.
And right and wrong, and we can't. And anything that blurs those lines, terrifies us. So now we're at a place where when someone says something like Israel versus Palestine, you picture one football team versus another football team, rather than
It's a family
it's
feud.
A family, but also, and even on the more granular than that, it's like a child in a hospital. A child in a hospital doesn't have a national identity. That does not exist. That's a concept that you grow into as you sort of move through the world and go, oh, I guess I'm English. I guess I'm sort of right. So we sort of believe in this and we speak this language. And a child is a template of a human, essentially. You know what I mean? They I believe they have the sort of, ingrained, yet to be released genetic composition and DNA and personality, sorry. But they don't have an identity. So when you're talking about attacking Hamas or attacking Palestine or attacking, that language actually isn't even applicable on that basis. So much of what's going on right now is it's not. I don't see this as a and I'm not the person to talk about the political.
But we don't sit in that space. We're too objective for that.
Yeah.
Lucas, I refuse. You know why I'd never run for Prime Minister or President? I'm not coming down for that. Are you mad? You asking me to be Prime Minister, President, head of MI5, head of executive branch, that's telling me to go from head teacher, and I don't mean disrespectfully, but to then being the gatekeeper at the school fates.
Brother, it's fucking arbitrary fallacy bullshit.
I understand, but do you know where I feel my duty is? To our generation, because I remember at a time where Mr. Blair asked the nation to go to the polls for a particular purpose. Now, and I'll say this as I've always said it, I deal with politics objectively because I just see different segments of the same beam.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I sometimes I marvel at people that have such offense to other viewpoints. I'm like, you realize they all sit on the same beam, right?
Yeah.
So, and if you cut your part of the beam, then you fall off.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then, Luke's, I would like that, should our generation be called to give their response or their idea to what's happening, I need you to understand it outside of the media context, which is this. we've all experienced family feuds. Everybody. There is not a family that does not have issues within their family. The one thing, 9 times out of 10, if your parents are of a certain age and nature tendency, they will tell those that it doesn't directly affect, don't get involved.